Hi, guys. Check out this side right here.
What'd you do?
Tell me how you did it.
Yeah. Get a little closer.
That's insane.
That's a different car.
That's the same car.
No.
Yeah, that's before, that's after.
Oh, that's awesome.
Make it new with New Finish.
EMC Security makes it easy to protect your home and your family with home security systems and video cameras. Starting at just $16.95 per month with no contract required. Consider your family safe with EMC Security. Protection you can count on.
Americans expect their elections to have safeguards. Only then can we have confidence the results are fair and accurate. Incredibly, some in Congress want to strip away those critical safeguards. No more voter ID. Signature verification on absentee ballots virtually eliminated. And effectively allowing non-citizens to vote. The list goes on. Every illegal vote cancels someone's legitimate vote, like yours. Tell your senators your vote matters. Tell them to vote no on Senate Bill 1.
Civil rights and faith leaders gathered to voice opposition to Georgia's new election law.
We will not stand by and let this ridiculous position stand.
Their demands for Georgia corporations that are taking a stand against the law after it passed.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
And good evening, I'm George Estevez in for Justin Farmer, who is in our thoughts today as he mourns the loss of his dad, the legendary Don Farmer, who anchored for many years right here at WSB-TV.
A huge loss for the WSB-TV family. I'm Jovita Moore. We're going to remember Don's contributions in a minute, but first, faith leaders gathered outside a downtown Atlanta attraction to call attention to Georgia's new elections law. The group included one leader who is behind a federal lawsuit against the state. They want a boycott of Georgia's largest corporations. New at 6, Channel 2's investigative reporter Nicole Carr live in Midtown. And Nicole, this boycott could start Wednesday if these companies don't take specific steps.
Right, and right now, as we speak, these leaders are trying to organize meetings with these corporate heads to discuss these 4 demands that you'll hear about here in the story in just a moment. Not every critic of the new voting law is for a boycott at this time. But we're also hearing from the lieutenant governor in a new op-ed in his message to Republicans and Democrats.
I know that this is the headquarters of Coca-Cola, but Pepsi might be the taste of a new generation.
For many opponents of Georgia's new voting law, Coca-Cola and Delta's statements condemning the measure this week were too late. They came after the bill became a law.
We're going to find out. But right now, my Coke is flat, and it's useless to the thirst of those who speak for justice.
Faith and civil rights leaders gathered at the World of Coke Thursday to send a message to corporate leaders. Some of the opponents are plaintiffs in federal suits against the state in response to SB 202. The measure options weekend days in early voting, reduces absentee ballot boxes, requires more ID in the absentee ballot process, criminalizes food and water distribution within close proximity of voters in line, and allows greater state authority over local county elections boards.
What will it look like if we get all black and brown workers to take a day off from working so that we can raise the standard?
These leaders say 4 demands must be met before April 7th for the corporations to avoid a boycott. They include holding a press conference to publicly condemn SB 202, denounce similar proposals in other states, support the federal lawsuits and federal voting rights measures.
While I'm confident they will do it, they still have to do it.
It continues to, I think, will allow Georgia to have secure, accessible, fair elections in Georgia.
The governor has repeatedly defended the new law as an election integrity act, making it easier to vote and hard to cheat, despite the Republican-led state elections board and Kemp himself declaring secure and fair recent elections. Republican lawmakers fell short of carrying out a threat to punish Delta in the form of tax credit cuts on the last day of session this week, a response to its CEOs and Cook's new definitive stance against SB 202, calling it unacceptable and based on a lie. Now on WSBTV.com tonight, you can read more about Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan's response to his party and what he calls knee-jerk legislation, and how he also points to Democrat-led measures in the final version of the bill that turned into law. Also, why Fair Fight Stacey Abrams say it may not be quite time to call for a boycott yet, what she says needs to happen first. We're live from Midtown. Nicole Carr, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, Nicole, thanks. And Braves first baseman Freddie Freeman weighing in, too, on the calls now to move the All-Star game from Truist Park in Cobb County because of Georgia's new voting laws. Channel 2 Sports Director Zach Klein continues our live Team 2 coverage now. Zach, the comments Freeman made on opening day were something.
Yeah, George, Tony Clark, the executive director of the Major League Baseball Players Association, says he is looking forward to visiting with the players about moving the All-Star game out of Atlanta. Now, Braves first baseman Freddie Freeman said today he has not spoken with Clark, but he does believe the All-Star game should remain in Atlanta. The reigning National League MVP says there are very important conversations that need to be had with the Players Association Union. But with all eyes on Atlanta in mid-July, it would be the perfect opportunity to discuss the recently signed voting bill by Governor Brian Kemp.
There's so many different angles we could take this, and if we do keep it in Atlanta, you can do something around that in that situation, or if we do move it, that's up to Tony Clark. And what's happened in the last couple months has already gone through, so why not use what we already have here in the platform in the city and the state that it's been passed through. So I think it'd be better to keep it and use a platform. But, you know, we'll see what happens in the next couple months.
Now, the All-Star game is set to be played July 13th over at Truist Park. It is the first time the game is being held in Atlanta since 2000, when that game was held over at Turner Field. Jovita?
All right, Zach, thank you. Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic and the governor's decision to ease restrictions for restaurants and bars in large groups. Some restaurant owners welcome this change. Public health officials say it is too soon to ease up. Channel 2's Mike Pachenik live on Roswell Road in Sandy Springs with reaction. Mike?
And Jovita, those changes will take effect next week, and they will allow restaurants such as those here along Roswell Road to open to full capacity. But some health officials say it is simply too soon.
It's definitely a step in what I would call the right direction.
That's restaurateur Ryan Pernice's take on Governor Brian Kemp's rollback of COVID-19 restrictions. Starting next week, Pernice will be allowed to fill his restaurant back to capacity.
It doesn't mean that we have to go, full bore back to seating the way we did in 2019, 2018.
Pernice says he intends to keep many safeguards in place, including spaced out seating, partitions, and masked employees.
It's been a tough year.
Up the street at House Grill, General Manager Scott Spielberg says the rollback brings a balancing act.
It's very difficult because I'm not getting that opportunity to make that revenue. And on the other side, it's the safety issue. So, I got to be honest, I'm in the middle.
Some public health experts say now is not the time to roll back rules.
It's not about the restrictions so much that are being lifted. It's about the message that it sends to the public.
The latest White House COVID report has Georgia ranked 48th worst in the country for hospital admissions and deaths. And while we're in the middle of the pack for newly reported cases this week, the CDC still lists Georgia near the bottom when it comes to vaccine administration.
While cases are a lot lower than they were earlier this year, they're still very high.
Now, the governor's office sent me a statement about the concern, saying, quote, as cases and hospitalizations have continued to decline and more Georgians are being vaccinated, the governor is continuing to protect lives and livelihoods by repealing remaining restrictions to help Georgians get back to normal. We're live in Sandy Springs, North Fulton County. I'm Mike Pachenik, Channel 2 Action News.
Happening right now, Channel 2's Convoy of Care is taking collections for people affected by last week's storms.
We have 3 different sites set up so you can help wherever you are. These are live pictures from the collection site at the Noonan Delta Credit Union in Coweta County. That area, of course, was hit hard, but even some storm victims have actually stopped by to donate.
We also have a donation site in Cherokee County. These are live pictures right now from First Baptist Church of Woodstock on Highway 92. Volunteers will be there accepting your donations until 7 p.m.
And our third location's in the southeast area, southeast Atlanta. You can drop off donations at Center Park Stadium. That's the old Turner Field on Hank Aaron Drive. Already, they filled 2 full trucks here, heading to people in need in Noonan. And they need toiletries, non-perishable food, cleaning supplies, yard tools to pick up all the debris. If you have items to donate, hurry up and get down there. You have until 7 o'clock.
Tonight, our thoughts and all of our prayers are with my colleague Justin Farmer and his family. His father, former WSB TV anchor that many of you watched for years, Don Farmer, passed away this week. Don was a celebrated journalist who enjoyed covering the world.
This is Channel 2's Action News.
Good evening. Our first story is about airbags. I'm Don Farmer.
And that is just a snapshot of the long and storied journalism journey of Don Farmer. Don anchored at WSB TV for 10 years before retiring from his illustrious television news career. Former Channel 2 anchors Monica Pearson and John Pruitt, along with Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns, are remembering Farmer's contributions and his lasting legacy on the Atlanta TV market.
Don will be missed because he was a wonderful reporter, great writer, hardworking anchor, and most importantly, he was a person who cared about his craft.
And he covered so much all over the world, so he had this portfolio of experience. He knew how to cover the news. He knew how to tell a news story, and he wanted it to be as good as it could possibly be.
Don was the absolute consummate professional, got everything right, wanted to make sure everything was right so that the viewers trusted WSB, trusted Don Farmer. What he said was the truth.
Before his decade at WSB, Farmer's reporting took him all around the world. In 1965, ABC News hired Don. He called it a dream come true. He was based in New York City, becoming a network correspondent at the age of 26, one of the youngest ever hired. On only his 5th day, ABC sent Farmer to Alabama to cover civil rights demonstrations that started his coverage of the historic movement and then the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I got a chance to cover him in Chicago. I had never met anybody like him.
He then worked at ABC's Midwest Bureau in Chicago, then its Southern Bureau here in Atlanta. And while on assignment, he met Chris Curl, the woman who would become his wife of 49 years. The two married 2 years later, then moved to London, where Farmer continued to report for ABC. In 1980, when Ted Turner created CNN, he hired Don and Chris to be among their first anchors. Then he found his home at WSB.
When I found out the day that Don Farmer was going to come and work here with Chris Curl, I mean, they're legends in the business.
He wanted to make sure that that viewer understood the story in the best way. And to him, writing was everything.
In all, Don Farmer covered news in 81 countries, over 6 continents. Outside of work, he loved spending time with his family. He served for 6 years in the U.S. Army Reserves, and he loved baseball, the Atlanta Braves becoming his adopted hometown team. So, of course, our thoughts are with Justin today as he deals with this loss. He remembered his father in a tribute, writing in part, "My dad's drive as an individual and love for this country are among the things that will always live in our family. Same for his love of baseball and his beloved Braves." So I'm joined now by our chief meteorologist, Glenn Burns, the one guy around here who worked with Don. The rest of us are so new compared to his time here, but you worked with Don for years.
I did. I started here in 1982. Don joined us in 1987 and worked through 1997. Just the consummate professional. Now, he was a stickler for accuracy. He went to the University of Missouri, and the Missouri School of Journalism, I think, may have been the first school of journalism in the world. But it was not all business, because you know who his roommate was at Missouri? Skip Carey. Oh. You remember Skip Carey? That was Don's roommate in college. And boy, when those two got together here at the station, it was mayhem, I can assure you. And on the first day of Braves baseball, the season beginning now, they always had a blast on the first day of spring baseball. So just, you know, Skip passed away, I think, in 2008, and we were going to miss Don very much. He was just an amazing individual.
And he certainly had a presence here in our newsroom for a very long time, you know, in the older building. But everyone knew him when he was at work. You knew he was there. I mean, he was a serious journalism guy, and he wanted things accurate, and he wanted them right. Even some of that, hearing those stories have been passed on to me.
And I wish I had saved some of the scripts that we had, because their red checks were going everywhere, and the writers would cringe when Don would send it back to them. But Don was a stickler for accuracy. I mean, if he wasn't sure about any kind of a detail, it wasn't going on our air. So you knew the story that he presented was the best of the most accurate to his ability.
Yeah,
so,
true journalist.
Yes, he was.
Glenn, thank you so much. And of course, all of our prayers, all of our thoughts with Justin and his family. Yes. We know many of you will want to share your memories of Don and your condolences to his family and comforting messages to Justin. So we're seeing many of them already on our Facebook page, and I'm sure that Justin appreciates it. We're also looking back at Don's career on our website. That's WSBTV.com.
Closed captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
I'm Justin Farmer. At Channel 2 Action News, our whole team works every day for one reason: to make sure you know every detail on what's happening where you live. From investigations with impact to breaking news you just have to see. No one brings you more local reporting and new details as stories change. We're always on with the big stories, covering all sides and taking you there live. Join us on Channel 2 Action News at 4, 5, and 6. It's coverage you can count on.
I'm John Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan. Pound Law. That's all.
There's a place in Florida a stone's throw from Atlanta, where the South meets the sea, where families come together on sand as white as sugar, where bucket lists are filled and treasures are shared. Hilton Sandestin Beach, Golf Resort and Spa. Call 866-BEACH-17 for exclusive offers.
No, Mommy, yo estoy bien. I'm okay on money. See? ¿Y papá? Yeah, I'm starting work tomorrow, actually. Hi, can you tell me if I'm doing this right?
Yeah, that looks right.
Oh, really?
I think you're good.
When you leave one comfort zone in search of another, Regions has the people, tools, and tech
I can help you with that. New job?
New everything.
to help you move forward faster and brave the beginning.
Visit your Georgia Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
It's a familiar story. Allergies ruining your sleep and next day too. Taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec at nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
It's your home and one of your biggest investments. Harry Norman Realtors provide unmatched luxury real estate services for Atlanta.
Couldn't have asked for a better experience.
Outstanding customer service went above and beyond.
Harry Norman is Atlanta's first in luxury.
A Cobb County mother says there's no explanation for the murder of her husband, and his death will traumatize their daughter for years. Someone shot and killed 37-year-old Brian Sclafford Clemens as he and his 8-year-old drove to the gas station just minutes from their house. Channel 2's Tom Jones. Tom, the little girl, able to explain what happened.
Yeah, the 8-year-old George says there was no argument or altercation right before bullets started flying. Her mother says she lost her husband, but she could have very well lost her daughter.
It is a miracle that my 8-year-old is still alive today.
Taryn Clemens is so thankful her 8-year-old daughter survived multiple bullets fired into her father's car, killing 37-year-old Brian Sclafford Clemens.
And for her to still be here when there were shots fired through the back door too, where she was sitting behind her father on the driver's side.
Clemens is devastated her husband is gone.
Why would someone do something like this to such a kind man?
Clemens and his daughter were headed to this racetrack on Austell Road Saturday afternoon, March 27th. It's about 3 minutes from home.
We ate lunch, and I had a taste for ginger ale.
As they approached the gas station to get the soda, that's when the shots rang out. Police say they continue to investigate. The 8-year-old suffered minor physical injuries. She said there was no argument or altercation before the shooting.
And she was just like, he just got shot.
The 8-year-old will need extensive counseling. Minister Kimberly Culp is working with the family to make sure she gets it.
We're going to help them with some counseling. Get her in the right hands, too, with someone that can help her.
Meanwhile, Clemens wants help finding the shooter.
I am asking if anyone has seen anything. It was in broad daylight. My husband was ambushed.
And Minister Culp is helping the family with other resources as well. The family needs help getting Clemens' body back to New Jersey, where he is from. Go to this story on our website, WSBTV.com, to see how you can contribute to a GoFundMe account that's been set up.
Reporting live, I'm Tom Jones for Channel 2 Action News.
Happening now, take a listen to this. 7 trucks loaded. We want to fill more. There's about 40 minutes left to donate in the convoy of care today. Channel 2's investigative reporter Mark Winnie live in Noonan. And Mark, these donations will help families there who lost everything during last week's deadly storm.
And it's so humbling to be here in Coweta County, very close to Noonan, where even folks whose families have been impacted have been donating supplies. So my understanding is tomorrow morning, 6 trucks will form into a convoy at the headquarters of the nonprofit Caring for Others, one of our very most important convoy of care partners. They'll leave there, and then this truck, based in Coweta County, based in Noonan, will join up on the way for ultimate delivery to the Coweta Fairgrounds, sort of the epicenter of relief supply distribution here.
All this.
Oh my goodness.
Days after the storm came to Coweta County, the convoy of care is coming. And as donors and law enforcement volunteers poured out their hearts, the emotion seemed to pour out of Coweta Sheriff Len Wood.
What it means to me as a lifelong resident of Coweta County.
You had damage from the tornado at your house.
I did.
You got repair people there now.
I do.
But you took the time to drop off supplies to help others?
Yeah, my damage wasn't as severe as some people, so I thought I might as well help out because I can, and I was fortunate to not have my house completely ruined.
Why are you here?
We came down today to kind of help out the residents and the citizens down here in Noonan. We realized that they've had so much tragedy here recently, and we just wanted to be a part of doing something good for those folks.
You volunteered?
Yes, sir.
After a call went out through the Georgia Association of Chiefs of Police?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You and your dad own Super K Express truck line.
Yes, sir.
But you're here in Noonan.
Yes, sir. We're located. Yes, sir.
How does it feel to you be part of this?
It feels great. The tornado came within a mile of our house, but we were spared. We were glad to jump in and be a part of it.
Just want to do what's right, baby. Just doing what God say do, you know? And if we all do that, it'll be such a better place. If we do what God say do, it'll be such a better place.
You're a co-founder of the Convoy of Care.
Yes, that's correct. We have shown the world that we can come together as community, law enforcement, and other partners to provide aid for those in need in the time of need. And this is especially special to me because it's Easter weekend.
Delta Community Credit Union. You guys arranged for the space for this drop-off.
We did. We thought it was really important to get involved and to really help the residents of Coweta County and those families who've been affected.
All right, law enforcement volunteers still on the scene from the Coweta County Sheriff's Office, Sandy Springs Police, and Gwinnett Police, and their help today has been critical. Reporting live from Coweta County, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
All right, and that is always great news to hear. Mark, thank you. Another live look at one of our other sites in Cherokee County. This is First Baptist Church on Highway 92 in Woodstock. They've already filled up 2 trucks there. They are now going for a 3rd. And do you live closer to Atlanta? Then perhaps our donation site at the former Turner Field might be a little easier for you to get to. They're going to be out there until 7 p.m., so you have to hurry. We got about 35 more minutes there.
High school seniors are mourning the death of a classmate just weeks before she was set to graduate.
She had just picked up her cap and gown this week and was...
The accident that has the entire community just heartbroken.
The quest for a 4th straight division championship starts this afternoon for the Braves. Zach's next with more on their season opener in Philadelphia.
Every morning, things are changing. School situations, the weather, the pandemic. Channel 2 Action News is here,
bringing you the newest information on the coronavirus and every school district.
Join us every morning on Channel 2 Action News.
Next, E.T.
Get cozy for another edition of Dear Drew.
Drew Barrymore shares her secrets to a good night's sleep. And David Allen Greer, guest co-host, Next E.T.
Tonight at 7:30, sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Now is the perfect time to sell your home. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home hassle-free. No showings, no open houses, no stress. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Did you know with some marketplace health insurance plans, you can be out thousands of dollars before your health insurance pays anything? With CareSource, you no longer have to meet huge deductibles before your insurance kicks in for basics like doctor visits, urgent care, and prescriptions. It's time to get more than you think for less than you thought. Count on CareSource. Enroll in a marketplace plan today. Visit caresource.com/Georgia Marketplace for more information.
When you're hurt in an accident, there's only one call, that's all. Only one firm has represented over 200,000 Georgia accident victims. Only one firm has collected over $2 billion for their Georgia clients. My law firm has the assets to make sure you get the highest recovery possible for your case. When you see all those lawyer ads on TV making bold promises, remember, there's only one call, that's all.
Sell your home fast with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Work with the most trusted team in the U.S. so you can close with confidence. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
The United Way needs virtual volunteers to decorate and fill shoeboxes with personal items for the homeless. See what's needed and where to drop your box at WSBTV.com/community. Family to Family and Brady Hospital. Community coverage you can count on.
Sports on Channel 2 is presented by Estes Heat, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical. It's that easy. It's Estes. Call Estes now for this great offer.
This afternoon, game 1 of 162 for the Braves. It is going to be a long year, and the Braves will believe it will end just like it has the 3 previous years with a National League East Division championship. Max Fried making the first opening day start by a Braves left-hander since Tom Glavine did it nearly 2 decades ago. He gives up 1 run in the very first inning against the Phillies, but gets out of a bases-loaded jam when he strikes out Didi Gregorius. To the third now, 2 on for JT Realmuto, who fights off this pitch, goes the opposite way. Reese Hoskins trots home for Philly, but Bryce Harper thrown out at third. Still a 2-0 Philly lead. Fried would strike out 8 in 5 innings of work. He allows just those 2 early runs and gives up 6 hits. Braves, great chance to break through in the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 out, but Marcelo Zuna lines the third right there. And then Travis d'Arnaud strikes out looking. Braves still nothing on the board. To the 7th, 1 on, 2 out for the pinch hitter Pablo Sandoval, and the big panda goes yard, crushing that pitch from Philly starter Aaron Nola. It's a 2-run home run. We're tied at 2. But that's all the scoring the Braves have done right now. We are in the 9th inning. This game's still tied at 2 runs apiece. The Braves get a strong start out of Fried and a fantastic job out of the bullpen. Tyler Matzik, A.J. Minner, and Chris Martin each throwing 1 scoreless inning. 2-2 in the 9th, guys. Same 2 teams on Saturday as they are off tomorrow. The Braves return to Truist Park for their first home opener. It is a week from tomorrow, guys.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate that.
Winds still gusting to 31 miles per hour here in Atlanta. The temperatures there in the low 50s. Wait till you see how cold we're going to be by morning. Weather's next.
A community in mourning after a high school senior died in an accidental shooting just weeks now before graduation.
So it's just really hit home for our community.
Tonight, what investigators believe led to that tragedy.
And happening now, the convoy of care. We're helping our neighbors impacted by last week's tornadoes. You have about 30 minutes now to get to one of these 3 locations to drop off your donations.
During Ram Truck Month at the all-new Union City Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat, get 0% financing for 72 months on select models. And use your tax refund as your down payment. Just south of high prices, I-85 exit 64, the all-new Union City Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat.
Never pass this way again.
Customer service is all about helping people. To bring people and things together that are meant to be together.
If we never chance to meet again.
Genesis gives customer care reps like me an almost superhuman ability to do just that.
Here's another home ready to get Window World windows, and this is why they chose us.
Window World is America's #1 replacement window company. And since we sell so many windows, we can beat anybody's prices. Our windows are made right here in the USA. Energy Star rated, backed by the Good Housekeeping seal, with a lifetime transferable warranty, including glass breakage. At Window World, not only do we stand behind our windows,
we stand on them.
Call us now for your free in-home estimate.
Window World, simply the best for less.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment. So all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if arch supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
The Washington power grab. You've seen it before, but Democrats are planning the biggest one yet. Pelosi, Schumer, and Warnock want to use your tax dollars to fund their political ads. And they'd let people register and vote without showing any form of ID. It's political corruption. Stop the grab. Stop the fraud. Stop the Warnock-Pelosi plan now. Donate today. NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Montlick & Associates, we believe in the power of the justice system to get injured people the money they need and deserve after an accident. With over 35 years of experience and billions of dollars recovered for our clients, our attorneys know what it takes to win. If you've been injured, dial #WIN now from your cell phone to speak with a Montlick attorney. That's #946. The initial consultation is free, and you pay no fee unless you win.
Weather presented by Montlick & Associates. Dial #WIN from your cell phone.
Everybody, well, no April Fools. Freeze warning for sure tonight. Yes, we need to bring in those cold-sensitive plants. Cover them up if you can. Bring in the pets, too. Don't forget about them. Now, we all have a freeze warning in these counties that are highlighted in the purple. You don't see that here in northeastern Georgia because typically the mountain communities will get down to freezing at some point in time during the spring, so no freeze warning yet. But all of Atlanta and surrounding areas in that freeze warning tonight. So what's the deal? The general is most plants will take about at least 5 hours to freeze where temperatures are at or below 28 degrees. What happens is you have a plant cell, and that cell is primarily water. And when that water freezes with temperatures going below 28 degrees for about 5 hours, it kind of acts like little shards of glass that split the cell open, and that's what kills the plant. So again, it's going to take at least 5 hours for that to happen. So I want you to check out your area right now to see how long we're going to see temperatures at or below freezing. So we're starting out at midnight tonight, already down to freezing here in Calhoun and Rome. 39 for Atlanta, sub-freezing temperatures in the northeast Georgia mountains. So that's at midnight. I'll run the clock forward to stop it here at 3 a.m. Still above freezing downtown at 34. We're sub-freezing here, Rome and Calhoun. Now Carrollton at 30 degrees. 32 here in Gainesville and 29 in Blairsville. Above freezing from Athens, Eden, Griffin, and LaGrange, but not by much. All right, let's go forward now to 5 a.m. Still above freezing by a degree here in Atlanta. We're sub-freezing in Griffin, Eaton at freezing, Athens. You can see all these very cold temperatures now at 5 a.m. So that's when that really hard freeze comes in with upper 20s here in the northwestern part of Georgia, mid-20s for the mountains. And going on toward 8 a.m., we're all sub-freezing across northern Georgia. And going on toward 10, then we climb above freezing here in Atlanta at 35 degrees. So we're going to have several hours where temperatures will be at or below freezing. But a nice warming trend is coming our way as we get into Saturday, a high of 62 after a low of 35. We'll be up close to 70 Sunday. Monday's high 73 and 77 Tuesday. I think a week from today, we're going to be about 80 degrees here in Atlanta. So, yeah, welcome to North Georgia spring. Doing a little fishing tomorrow. Picked a great weather day. Your favorite lake looking pretty good, too. Bass are biting well, and 6 to 7 in the morning into the excellent range. Close to 7 o'clock tomorrow evening as well. I'll be back with your evening outlook in just a few minutes.
80 sounds amazing, Glenn. Now happening now, one of the busy convoy of care locations where people are donating items for tornado victims is up north in Woodstock. Channel 2's Carol Sparge live at Woodstock Baptist Church where they're almost wrapped up for the day. Carol?
Well, Jovita, as you know, we have the best viewers, and especially when people are in need. This is the second truck that they are filling. They already filled one earlier this afternoon. Several boxes of non-perishable food, just some of the items, lots of things that they need in the household. And I said earlier they needed baby items, and now a whole box of things people have given, including diapers. We've got pillows. It's been really amazing because we've been out here for like 6 hours, and we have seen people just continually drive up, give things. They heard about this. They want to help. For many, I can't tell you how many people told me today, could have been my house. could have been my neighbors. It could have been my relatives. So everybody feels like so touched by this because this happened in their backyard. They want to help. This is what they're doing. You got a little more time. They're going to be out here until 7 tonight. So then they will take all these items to the people that really need it. So it's all, thankfully, happening very quickly. Live in Woodstock, Carol Spark, Channel 2 Action News.
Carol, thank you. As you said, the need is great, especially for these items on your screen. Toiletries for men and women and kids, non-perishable food for everyone, cleaning supplies and yard tools. Aside from the Woodstock location, you can donate at the Delta Community Credit Union in Noonan and Center Park Stadium. That's the old Turner Field in Southeast Atlanta. You still have about 30 minutes left for today.
A West Georgia community is mourning the tragic death of a teenager set to graduate. Investigators say Candace Crizzen was accidentally shot behind a friend's home. Channel 2's Tom Regan live now at Mount Zion High School in Carroll County. And Tom, this has been a rough day for students and staff.
Oh, George, absolutely right about that. In fact, grief counselors were being made available to students here at school. The school district releasing a statement this afternoon saying they are deeply saddened by the loss of this student.
It is a very tragic story.
Family and friends now mourning the death of Candace Crizzen. She was at a friend's house here on Bowden Junction Road late Tuesday afternoon. Someone had a gun.
It was just a couple of friends out in the backyard. From what we've been told, possibly target practice with a pistol. You know, the kids obviously haven't been taught maybe the gun safety that they should have been, and ultimately it resulted in Candace's death.
Investigators have not said who fired the fatal shot or who owned the weapon. The case remains under investigation, but evidence so far points to an accidental shooting. The teen's sudden death comes as a terrible shock to everyone.
We have a 17-year-old who has lost her life that was going to graduate high school this year, so it's just really hit home for our community. So it's a very heartbreaking time. You know, we just ask that everybody keep her and her family in your prayers and thoughts, as well as the students that return back to school today without her in class.
Well, the teens involved in this case are cooperating with authorities in the investigation. The district attorney will decide whether charges are warranted. Live in Carroll County, Tom Regan, Channel 2 Action News.
And we have an update now on alleged irregularities in Stacey Abrams' 2018 campaign for Georgia governor. Today, the State Ethics Commission refused to move forward on 3 of 5 new charges. So now Abrams will face 2 charges. They involve relatively small amounts of funds. One dismissed charge had to do with campaign money allegedly used for memberships to the Delta Sky Club and the Commerce Club in downtown Atlanta.
Financial relief for families that lost a loved one to COVID-19
is very much needed.
The federal agency helping ease the stress caused by the coronavirus pandemic.
And better protection for those who served. New at 6, the concern some veterans may not get fully vaccinated.
A live look right now at our convoy of care happening in Noonan this hour. We are out there for just a few more minutes until 7 o'clock, collecting items to help victims of last week's tornadoes. You can find us at one of these 3 locations until 7.
Here at Local Steals and Deals, we love finding things that really improve the quality of your life. And we find the best beauty and the best technology and the best health and the best security and all the new inventions and entrepreneurs and young companies. We do all the research for you. If you'd like to know all about it, all you have to do is text DEALS, D-E-A-L-S, to 65,000, and we'll send you a link to show you all the best ideas that are going to make your everyday even better.
The Fish and Game Report is brought to you by EMC Security. Tonight.
You know, they say people in Hollywood can sometimes be a little sketchy. Honey, you have no idea.
So what is the Hollywood Con?
There is no film. Oh, my God. I'm Whoopi Goldberg. This is The Con.
Tonight on ABC.
Lease a new 2020 Dodge Challenger GT for $299 a month during Dodge Performance Days. Just at the high prices, the all-new Union City Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat.
Air garage not found.
Everything these days claims to be smart. But that doesn't mean they always work smart.
One smart thing you can rely on is Pennington Smart Seed. It's so smart it uses 30% less water year after year and is guaranteed to grow. Now that's smart that works. Pennington Smart Seed, real intelligent turf.
Find out what our guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's never been a better time to sell. Get a strong cash offer and sell your home fast with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. It's that simple. No showings, no open houses, no stress. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Go to markspain.com, fill out a quick form, and receive an all-cash offer on your home today. It's really that simple. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Welcome to the Cheese Show. And when cheese puts on a performance like this, you might get to the crust and think, it's over. But no. Let's hear it for the Encore Cheese. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuff.
Millions are saying yes to Allegra, the #1 allergist-recommended non-drowsy brand. Allegra works 2 times faster than Claritin, and unlike Zyrtec, it's non-drowsy. Say yes to the fastest non-drowsy 24-hour relief. Allegra.
Happening now, families who lost their belongings in last week's tornado are about to get some much-needed help. Here's a live look at one of our donation collection sites. This is in Noonan. WSB TV and our partners launched our Convoy of Care. So we've already filled 7 trucks today. You can donate until 7 p.m. There is a new report critical of the Department of Veterans Affairs. It says the VA is not doing a good job of tracking the second COVID-19 shot for veterans.
So there's a call now for the VA to improve this process. New at 6, Channel 2 Samantha Manning reports the goal is to make sure vets are fully vaccinated.
The concern is that some vets may be falling through the cracks if they miss their second COVID-19 vaccine shot. A new report says the problem is that the VA isn't tracking no-shows for appointments. More than 1.5 million veterans have now been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by the VA.
Our frontline heroes and our most vulnerable veterans are now getting vaccines.
But now a new watchdog report by the U.S. Government Accountability Office points to concerns about the VA not tracking when vets or staffers aren't showing up for their second vaccine appointments.
The no-show data are important because without it, VA has difficulty determining to what extent staff and veterans actually do receive their second dose of vaccine. And it also creates missed opportunities for VA to provide some type of outreach to these individuals.
The report also says the VA doesn't have clear targets for when it will move from one vaccination phase to the next.
Without any type of target, it may be difficult for VA to determine its progress in vaccinating staff and veterans who are at the highest risk.
The report is calling on the VA to start collecting data on the number of staff and vets who don't show up for vaccine appointments to better monitor how many are actually completing both doses. It also calls for the department to come up with vaccination targets so that vets will know when they're eligible. The report says the VA agrees with the recommendations in this report and is working on making those changes. In Washington, Samantha Manning, Channel 2 Action News.
So Georgia's 30-year-plus water war with Florida is now over, and the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Georgia's favor. Florida claimed that Georgia ruined its oyster fisheries by removing too much water from the Chattahoochee and Flint rivers. Both rivers eventually empty into Florida's Apalachicola Bay. The court said Florida just could not prove its case.
FEMA is launching a program to reimburse funeral expenses related to COVID-19. Who's eligible and why one widow says every Georgian needs to listen up.
A live look right now in Woodstock at our Convoy of Care. We're collecting the donations now to help victims of last week's tornadoes.
You have until 7 to drop off donations at these 3 sites.
Portions of Channel 2 Action News are brought to you by Atlanta Toyota.
Last night's cash winning numbers were 7, 6, and 8, and lottery players won more than $238,000. Watch the next drawing tonight at 6:59, only on Channel 2.
There was a time
when the world felt freshly painted, when meadows blossomed in brush-stroked bloom, and the tulips wove a tapestry of pastel light and morning dew. There was a time when we marveled at the beauty within us and at the art on all sides and all around. It was a glorious time. It was spring. This spring at Biltmore. Awaken to Biltmore in bloom.
As Americans, voting is our right. So why are Georgia lawmakers trying to take that away with new bills that put my identity at risk and limit my access to voting the way that works for me? That's just not right. Georgians deserve the freedom to vote their way, safely, without worrying. Tell your lawmakers, don't mess with our voting access.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
When you're hurt in an accident, there's only one call, that's all. We have over 40 lawyers on staff and 2 lawyers working on each client's case. We've collected over $2 billion for our clients. Our firm terrifies the insurance companies. If they're lowballing your case, we sue them and take them to trial. When you see all those lawyer ads on TV making bold promises, remember, there's only one call, that's all.
We can meet, fall in love, even get a mortgage on our phone. This is it. Regions has a world-class digital mortgage experience. But if you need extra advice, our mortgage loan officers can help you brave the beginning.
The spring 4-day sale is here at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Get up to $100 off play sets and bounce houses. Up to $100 off Pit Boss grills. 20% off all rods, reels, and fishing combos. And buy one, get one 50% off Magellan Outdoors fishing shirts. Shop the 4-day sale at Academy.
So starting this month, families who lost a loved one to coronavirus will get some much-needed financial relief. In Georgia alone, there are more than 16,000 confirmed deaths. Channel 2's Cobb County Bureau Chief Chris Jose live in Marietta now. And Chris, FEMA will reimburse funeral expenses.
And Jovita, funeral directors from around Metro Atlanta, including the one here at West Cobb Funeral Home in Cobb County, tell me they have been inundated during the pandemic. FEMA is offering up to $9,000 in assistance per funeral.
It's very much needed. And yes, I will apply for this.
Chrissy Henderson lost her husband last month. Sergeant Barry Henderson was a longtime sergeant for the Polk County Sheriff's Office. After 2 months on a ventilator, he passed away from COVID-19 complications.
I hope that there's a lot of people that FEMA can help with this.
Chrissy told me out-of-pocket expenses cost her $17,000. Starting in April, FEMA is working to help ease some of the financial stress caused by the virus. Families can get up to $9,000 in assistance per funeral and a maximum of $35,500 per application. Brian Hightower is president of the National Funeral Directors Association.
So many of the folks who may have lost a loved one had also lost income, lost their jobs.
To be eligible, the COVID-related death must have occurred after January 20th, 2020. FEMA says it'll also need an official death certificate that attributes the cause to COVID-19. Funeral expense documents and proof of funds received from other sources are also required.
In other words, somebody may have had a $9,000 expense, $5,000 of which was covered by insurance. That $5,000 would not be eligible for reimbursement. The balance, the $4,000 that was paid by the family directly, would be eligible for reimbursement.
And in the last hour, FEMA updated its website. The application process will start on April 12th. It is all over the phone and not online. For a list of required documents, eligibility questions, plus that toll-free 800 number from FEMA, go to our website, WSBTV.com. Look for the story under links mentioned. I'm in Cobb County, Marietta, Chris Jose, Channel 2 Action News.
Happening now, we are collecting supplies to help victims of these deadly storms. So many Georgians lost everything. Just look at these aerials. They really have a lot of work to do to get anything back. That's why Channel 2 and Convoy of Care gathering disaster relief. And there's just a few more minutes to drop off supplies on 3 locations. They close at 7, but you can also make an online donation.
Channel 2's investigative reporter Mark Winnie live in Noonan, and many people have donated to help their neighbors today. Mark?
Yeah, and I'd say we'd had 3 cars just in the last 10 minutes or so. You know, we got cleaning supplies, lots of cleaning supplies, paper goods, toiletries, yard supplies, food, and more. And we got lots of law enforcement volunteers that have been out here today. The Sandy Springs contingent here with Gwinnett and Coweta. But Sandy Springs, you guys have been out here really since the site opened, right?
Yeah, we got here about 10 o'clock this morning and been going at it all day.
And I bet your heart's full right now.
It's great.
Isn't it?
Amazing day to help all these people in need.
And I want you to hear from some of the folks that we've talked to earlier in the day, including the Coweta County Sheriff.
We've had over 1,700 homes we know of that have been damaged, and to see the people cleaning yards, just everybody's coming together and helping.
Through the Georgia Motor Trucking Association, you've been involved in every convoy of care just about.
Yes, sir, I have. To be so close to home, it could have been any of us. It could have been my house, my family.
Just being a good Samaritan, just trying to make a person's life better.
Tony Knowles from Super K Express, you got how many pallets will be on here by the end of the day?
We'll have 24 full by the end of the day. There's already 14 full on the trailer.
All right, so thank you very much for your contribution. You're based in Noonan, right?
Yes, sir.
So my understanding is tomorrow morning at Caring for Others, one of our most valued partners in the Convoy of Care, and I think they've got 2 trucks full of material at their headquarters. That's where we'll meet. 6 trucks will leave from there. Head down toward Noonan. Tony's truck will fall in the convoy someplace there. One of the benefits of having a lot of great law enforcement partners is I think we'll probably have a good escort. And then we'll go to the Coweta County Fairgrounds. My understanding is that is sort of ground zero for relief supply distribution. And I'm expecting it to be quite a joyous event in a place that has experienced a lot of tumult in recent days. Reporting live in Coweta County, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
Thank you, Mark. And we should take one more live look now at the volunteers and donations for Convoy of Care. That's in Woodstock at the First Baptist Church there.
In Southeast Atlanta, we're still live at Center Park. That's the former Turner Field. If you're nearby, you can still go on over, make a donation by 7 o'clock.
Still a little time there to get down there with your gifts of care, toiletries, food, and yard tools. You can also donate online. We have that link on WSBTV.com under links mentioned on 2.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir just a few minutes away. Here's what's ahead at 7.
New gripping testimony and evidence, too, in the trial for the former officer charged with murdering George Floyd. The emotional trauma for witnesses who watched Floyd's final moments. That's next at 7. Taking a look at Wall Street, the Dow closed up 171 points, and NASDAQ also in positive territory, gaining 233.
The Stock Report on Channel 2 is sponsored by Power Home Solar.
I'm George Estevez. At WSB Tonight, we know local investigations are important to everyone. Our reporters constantly research and follow leads, breaking down how an issue really affects you. Watch WSB Tonight at 11 on Channel 2.
So you just scored amazing savings at Ross? On brands that take you from me time to go time in no time. Hi. Get the best bargains ever on looks that work anywhere at Ross. Yes for less.
I'm Jason Waller, founder of Power Home Solar. For 2021, we made a pledge. We're not going to take it anymore, and neither should you. So I'm making energy, solar energy, affordable for homeowners all across America. Call us at 1-800-POWER-90 and let us install our American-made solar panels and Generac's backup battery system and get the first 12 months on us. That's 1-800-POWER-90. Power Home Solar and Generac, the new superpower in home energy.
This is a no-nonsense message from 3. Small business insurance is usually so complicated you need to be a lawyer to understand it. That's why 3 was created. It's a better kind of business insurance. It's only 3 pages, straightforward. If you own it, 3 covers it. That's me. I don't even need to see what's happening behind you to know it's covered. This commercial is now over. Logo. 3. No nonsense, just common sense.
Real injuries deserve real money.
Our client's car accident resulted in several surgeries. We won them $1,075,000.
If you've been injured, call attorney John Foy and Associates today.
Get your spring on at Ross. Yes. With brand name looks at prices that say it's on.
Yeah, it is.
Get this season's styles for you. And you. And you. With the best bargains ever at Ross. Yes for less.
There is one group calling for a boycott of some of Georgia's largest corporations.
It all connects back to the state's new voting law. Big companies like Coca-Cola and Delta put out statements this week condemning the law, but some say it's too late. They want the companies now to take new steps, including supporting federal lawsuits. If they don't, a boycott could start next week.
There is also some controversy surrounding the governor's decision to ease COVID-19 restrictions for restaurants and bars in large groups. Some public health experts say now is not the time to roll back those rules. Restaurant owners we spoke to said they will do their best to balance business and safety.
So this is the time we normally thank you for watching and ask you to come back tonight at 11.
Instead, this evening, we thought it would be fitting to hear from former WSB TV Channel 2 Action News anchor Don Farmer one final time.
That's Action News Prime Time for tonight and for this year. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and we hope you'll join us again in the new year, next month, in fact, for another edition of Action News Prime Time. I'm Don Farmer. We thank you for joining us, and I'll see you on the news.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Tonight's primetime lineup is sponsored by Woodstock Furniture and Mattress Outlet.
There's a place where you always feel at home and never have to wait for a sale because we always give you our best price. North Georgia's best kept secret, Woodstock Furniture and Mattress Outlet.
How's Meredith?
Her vital signs are stable.
Today could be the day.
2 a.m. and she calls me 'cause I'm still awake. Can you help me unravel?
Thank you.
This mistake.
Lexi!
Just breathe.
I like it here. Are you gonna stay?
Just breathe.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month.
I called to get dental, transportation, meals, and the Give Back benefit.
With this virus situation, I called to get everything I'm entitled to. I couldn't believe I was missing out on so many benefits.
With the uncertainty of the virus, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.